I think we've avoided it long enough. We have to watch that kid's expose about the fraud in Minnesota.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going.
I have a bad feeling that this video will just be him getting doors closed in his face, and that's going to be somehow. I don't have high hopes for this. This looks...
We're looking for it. Never heard of it?
They know we're shining the light on...
I'm asking
No. You don't ask me nothing, man.
$2.25 million.
Get out.
Are we the only community that does fraud?
How come they said this building was closed?
Do you guys know where advanced mobility is? Advanced mobility? Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be him harassing brown people. And he's going to have these little papers, and they're going to be like, what are you talking about? And he's going to be like, guilty! That's my prediction. Let's go ahead and put this on 1.75.
We're looking for it. Never heard of it?
They know we're shining the light on the fraud, and they have no defense.
Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
The Minnesota fraud scandal continues to get worse and worse as billions of dollars of fraud has been exposed, and as I showed the world the blatant fraud taking place at daycares and other locations across Minnesota, it became the most viewed video expose on the internet and created instant change within the government as the Fed sent thousands of federal agents to Minnesota, and the HHS froze over $185 million in all payments to childcare. And while politicians like Tim Walz call people like me white supremacists and far-right delusional conspiracy theorists for exposing the fraud, meanwhile, he actually dropped out of running for re-election. The Minnesota fraud scandal has erupted the nation as protests and riots took place, all starting because daycares like Quality Learning Center were exposed. However, the daycares is only a small portion of the fraud taking place in Minnesota. In this video, I will take you into what has continued to allow this fraud to happen and connect all the dots for you, exposing all the fraud from strange connections of the business owners and the politicians who have openly admitted to the fraud on live TV. And to dive deep into the fraud, I met back up with the local David, who has been investigating this widespread fraud scandal for years. So here in Minnesota, you have daycare fraud, you have adult daycare fraud, you have healthcare fraud, and
The local David? Is that what he said? Oh, the local named David? Okay.
you even have more fraud. What's some of the fraud that's also taking place here inside of
Normally it'd be like, this is David something something, he's something something, some kind of credentials or something, but this guy's just a local David.
Well, what I think might be sort of the heart of the beast here is this transportation fraud. And what I mean by that is in Minnesota, we have something called non-emergency medical transportation, NEMT. My research has shown that there are about 1,020 such companies in Minnesota, and more than 90% of them are Somali owned.
So right
Oh my God, they're running businesses.
what do we have? All this information right here.
So I have a number of companies that are local here in the Twin Cities, and this is just a fraction of the companies that are out there. What I found was that the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles per company. A lot of these companies, their address is an apartment, some are in a house, some are in a convenience store, some of them in a vacant building. There's no signage, there's nobody there.
And so why would there be such a need for all these transportation companies here inside Minnesota?
So if you think of this transportation as the hub of the wheel, so child care is a spoke, adult daycare is a spoke, autism is a spoke, the interpreter services, which we can get into, that's another spoke. It all ties back to transportation. Why? Because those meals someone had to deliver those meals, someone has to deliver the kid to autism, or say they did. So it all revolves around the transportation. And so when you're looking at this, you say, okay, well, let's just be conservative. Let's go and let's say there are only 800 Somali-owned non-emergency medical transportation companies in Minnesota. Well, again, the average is 20 vehicles per company. So that's 800 times 20. And the way these NEMT companies are paid is if they bring someone to a doctor's appointment, whatever the case might be, or Costco or wherever they're going, because remember, it's non-emergency medical transportation. Well, we went to Costco because they have to eat or they'll die. So that's considered, right? So it's almost impossible to figure out from the outside what exactly the payments are for each of these trips. But I have a pretty good idea. So when someone provides a transportation to a facility or a location, they're also paid for the time to sit there and wait for the appointment to end and then drive the person back. So they're paid 3 different ways. And the average is going to be $50 per trip. So it's going to the appointment as a trip, coming back trip. So that's $100 per round trip. So if you have 800 companies in Minnesota that are NEMT companies, they all own 20 vehicles, and they're all making 10 trips a day, and it's $50 per trip. So it's 800 times 20 times 10 trips times $50 a trip. Do the math. And the reality is, how many of these trips are being provided? 0. They don't have to provide any. Why? Because when they are paid by the state of Minnesota, These companies go online and they fill out a form, and it just says, okay, how many trips, how many miles? They submit that electronically to the state, and boom, they get paid. Nobody bothers to check. They don't call the dentist. Did this kid show up? They don't do anything. As soon as that form is filed with the state of Minnesota, that payment goes out immediately.
And so essentially, these transportation companies are what hold all the fraud together, because you have the daycare centers working with the transportation companies, the adult daycare centers working with the transportation companies, the healthcare companies working with the transportation companies. So it's just another way to bill and to also make it look like something's happening here inside of Minnesota.
This is the belly of the beast. All of this fraud revolves around these transportation companies. All of it. This touches every part of fraud here in Minnesota.
And today we're going to confront these people. We confronted them last time. There was no kids in any of the child care centers. And today, what do you expect to see?
I think we're going to see some vehicles because, when I drive around the cities here, I see these Somalis driving. Mostly it's like a Plymouth Caravan or whatever. And there's never, ever, ever been a passenger. In 7 years, I've never seen a passenger in any of these vehicles. I've followed some of them. They're going to Costco. They're going to Sam's Club. They're going to Walmart. The driver gets out, goes in there, loads up a shopping cart, comes in, puts it in the van, and off they go back to where they live.
And now we're going to go out and see what's happening with these transportation companies.
And here's the other thing. Tim Walz and Department of Human Service, you threw the people of Minnesota under the bus. Shame on you, and I'm coming for you.
You heard it here first, David. All right, let's go. So where's the first location we're going to?
The first
David
location
is coming for you.
is a company called Safari Transportation, Cedar Avenue South in Minneapolis.
And so what makes Safari Transportation Company an interesting transportation company?
Well,
Allegedly fraudulent.
Somali owned. That's what makes it interesting. Listen, this sounds like there could absolutely be some legitimate fraud going on. Sounds like a lot of other kinds of fraud that we know is going on all the time. I just think it's a little bit weird when something like this, it's like, I mean, first of all, if these were just white people doing this, would it even be a story? Also, I heard that the ringleader of this daycare fraud is a white lady, not a Somalian. I don't know, but I just think it's kind of weird that Trump does meme coins. He does rug pulls. The defense budget can't account for billions of dollars. They just can't say where it went. Fraud is intrinsically baked into American capitalism. The whole idea is that you get money, and it's like if you get money in certain ways, then you're okay. Like if you work a job, like what most people do. But people like the billionaire class who are just explicitly fraudulent, Elon Musk, the biggest fraud, most U.S. taxpayer money paid person on planet Earth who sells a bunch of vaporware and doesn't do anything he says he's gonna do, just openly stealing money. And that's the guy that went in to find fraud, which is extremely ironic. But I'm sure that these guys don't see anything wrong with that. I like consistency, This makes me feel like you're not really bothered by fraud, you're bothered by immigrants. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Well, the thing about Safari is that they've been registered since 2015 with the state of Minnesota as operating vehicles. And again, the national average for a non-emergency medical transportation company is 20 vehicles. So if they've got 20 vehicles and they're at 607 Cedar Avenue, I have no idea where they're parking them because there is no parking anywhere near this office.
The thing about averages, Dave, is that doesn't mean that everyone has the same number of whatever the average comes out to be. That's kind of not how averages work. An average would be like, this company could have 800 vehicles and these other 10 could have one. So that's how averages work.
we've arrived to the transportation company. We're outside, and right there we have a Loving Arms adult daycare. All the windows are completely boarded out right there, and there's supposed to be a transportation company registered right here. It's 617, but it's a liquor store. And so the location here is 607 and also 617. These are two transportation companies. We're on a main road right now, and this is 607, and it is not a transportation company. It's actually a money transfer, but it's registered here, 607. This does not look like Safari Transportation. Where is the transportation company?
I don't see any signs denoting that there's any transportation. It's all just looks like money wiring. But if you look at the Secretary of State's office, state of Minnesota, Safari Transportation, 607 Cedar Avenue, and it's been registered here since 2015. That was the original filing.
So let's see if we have the manager. Let's see if we can find fraud. Hello. How are you? We're looking for the transportation company.
Safari Transportation?
Looking for Safari Transportation?
There's no Safari Transportation.
No Safari Transportation?
Safari Transportation, 607 Cedar Avenue.
We're just looking for Safari.
Oh my god, dude. Why is this shit so easy to predict? So they're going into these places with 10-year-old paperwork, and they're filming, they're being confrontational, and so the business owners are just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Stop filming and get out. And that's gonna be the big, that's gonna be the evidence, I guarantee.
So, but this is registered for Safari Transportation, 607.
Okay, we don't know.
We're asking where Safari Transportation is.
Hey, we're just asking, where's Safari Transportation? I know you're saying you don't know, but we have these papers, and I'm just asking. No, we're not going to leave your store, but I just want to know, you're acting very suspicious right now, saying you don't know what I'm talking about when the address is this address in 2015.
So the business is not here.
Don't record.
Fuad Omar?
Fuad Omar?
We don't know. This, do you see this? What is this?
Money transferring. Okay,
Well, this is
registered.
from the state.
This is fraud taking place. This is supposed to say.
And there we go. This is fraud taking place. The paperwork from 2015 said that this address was a different business than what it is. So yeah, go ahead and just point to these people and accuse them of fraud. Awesome, man. You're a fucking tool.
Transportation.
Who found out?
Yeah, we did find out. This is fraud right here. This is registered.
Safari Transportation,
This is fraud right here. Can't you see the fraud?
Minnesota. Well, but it's registered now. This is current, just off the state of Minnesota website today. This is from today. I just printed this off today. Fuad Omar.
Go check it out.
We're here. This is 607. Where's Safari Transportation?
It's not Safari here.
Okay, so it's a fraudulent business.
Did you see Safari anything here?
Exactly.
Did you see?
Exactly. It's not
Did you
here.
see it?
It's a fraud.
Did you see, sir?
Okay, thank you. We're gonna go to the next
Okay,
address.
that's it.
All right, let's keep moving on. So 607, this is supposed to be Safari Transportation, no transportation company, and now we're going to 617, another transportation company. However, it is actually Cedar Riverside Liquor. Where is the transportation company?
617.
617 right
Streamline
here,
Transportation for the state of Minnesota is registered to 617 Cedar Avenue South.
and it's a liquor store.
I'm gonna take a closer look at that
However, it is
paperwork.
actually Cedar Riverside Liquor. Where is the transportation company?
617.
617 right
Streamline
here.
Transportation for the state of Minnesota is registered to 617 Cedar Avenue South.
And it's a liquor store. David, they aren't even trying to hide that these are
Wait a
transportation
second.
company.
617.
617 right
Streamline
here.
Transportation.
607.
Wait a second.
This is supposed to be Safari Transportation, no transportation company, and now we're going to 617, another transportation company. However, it is actually Cedar Riverside Liquor. Where is the transportation company?
617.
617 right here.
Transportation for the state of Minnesota is registered to 617 Cedar Avenue South.
And it's a liquor store. David, they aren't even trying to hide that these are transportation companies. Where are the vans at?
Should we ask?
Let's go ask.
They're not even trying to hide. That's why there's no evidence of anything at all. Because they're not even trying to hide. They're not even trying to not hide. So we got him.
Hey, we're looking for Dreamline Transportation.
Now we're in 617, Dreamline Transportation. Where is the transportation company?
No, we don't have this.
You ever heard of Safari Transportation?
Safari, I know Safari, that money wiring, 607.
The money wiring.
Yeah.
Okay, that's money wiring.
Yeah.
We're looking for Safari
Money there,
Transportation.
They
607.
said they never heard of it.
I never did. Safari company, the money wiring, they send money there, that's the 607.
So Safari gets the money and then they wire it out.
Yeah, money.
That man just said that Safari is actually a money wiring company, so therefore they're receiving money and then wiring it somewhere.
What? Yeah, they're receiving money. They receive money, like, if you go in with money and you wire it somewhere, then yeah, they received the money. Like, what the fuck is he talking? They're a money wire, so they're receiving money. Case closed.
Name of a transportation company.
They said to go here.
Suite A right here. And then you have 617A right here, but this is reliable services, immigration, travel, and tax. I do not see a transportation company anywhere.
Morning. Hey, we're hoping to find Dreamline Transportation. You ever heard of it? He said to ask here, but you would know.
This is a mailbox.
So, Dreamline Transportation could be nothing more than a mailbox. 834.
Who has ever heard of a company having a mailbox as their address or a P.O. box? That's never happened.
Could be one of these mail.
That's never happened.
Well, 606.
Ever.
Safari Transportation doesn't exist. It's actually a money wiring business. 617 Dreamline, inside of there, it's actually a liquor store. And then 617A is a place where there's a bunch of mailboxes and it says reliable ITT services. How are you doing, man?
I just want to ask you,
Yes, sir.
why are you sensationalizing the propaganda?
What are we sensationalizing?
To attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're not attacking your community by any means.
Are you making
we're
good money
looking,
from this?
We're looking for fraud.
No, I'm
for
not.
instance, can you answer our question? Where's Safari Transportation Company 607?
Listen,
It's not there.
how
And why don't you
much-
answer?
how much money are
Why don't you
you-
answer the
how much
question?
money
Where's
are you
617
making?
Dreamline Security?
How much money are you
I make
making
money
off
off of
this?
YouTube. That's how I make my money.
Exactly. So you're making money off of sensationalizing.
That's my job.
And attacking
is-
the Somali community.
I'm not attacking you guys. We're asking.
I'll tell you
fraud
the
is
reason why
fraud,
this is
sir.
happening. All right, let me
David,
tell you-
Holy shit. I can't believe he kept this in.
fraud is fraud, correct?
Yes.
This has nothing to do with race. This is fraud. It's
This
fraud.
absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, you don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
We're not saying that.
No.
We're not
Because
saying that.
when I go
Sir,
into
we're
your
talking
comments,
about fraud. You're
when
talking.
I go onto your comments,
My comments
what I
aren't
see
me.
is people that say we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's a comment.
You are listen.
That's not what I'm saying.
You're preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps, just
How?
like the Japanese community. All right,
How?
you're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right,
Sir,
something that
answer
can
the question.
listen,
Where-
that's something
where
that
is the
can,
transportation
something that
vehicle
can
company?
jeopardize
Answer the
the
question.
safety and the protection of
This
the
is
Somali
fraud.
community.
We're talking
If
about
anything
fraud,
happens to the
sir. We're
Somali
talking
community.
I mean, this guy is kind of right. They're going to these stores and calling these people fraudsters and clearly giving their address. And that is extremely irresponsible.
fraud.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not
You're
physically
getting very close.
I'm not physically touching you. No, I'm not physically touching you.
This is fraud.
What
We're
you're
talking
doing,
about fraud.
what you're
You're
doing, what
defending
you're
fraud.
doing.
You're
When I go
defending
into your
fraud.
comments,
You're defending fraud.
people who hate Muslims.
You're defending fraud. You're defending fraud. I'm going to say the word fraud. See this store? This is fraud. I have a paper. See this store? That's fraud. Money wiring. That's fraud. You're defending fraud. It's not because you're from Africa. It's because fraud. I hate fraud.
Out of here
People can say
for
what they
being
want. I'm not
Muslim
censoring
are
anybody.
using your material. Islamophobes use your material. People who hate Islam use your material. Say to us, we don't want you here. Change the constitution. But guess what? Let me tell you something. Guess
Say
what?
it. Say it. We're asking about
You know,
fraud.
you are. What
We're
you
asking
do,
about fraud.
You hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate Muslims.
You
We're talking
hate
about fraud.
Muslims.
We're talking
Why
about
are
fraud.
you attacking us?
This
Are we
is
the only
fraud.
community
We're
that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about
Are we
fraud.
the only community that does fraud? Are we the only community that does this?
This is about.
That's a good question. And the answer is absolutely not. There is widespread fraud fucking everywhere.
All right, but there's what, 300 Somali
This is
providers
fraud.
out of Minnesota?
There's actually 800.
So,
So,
you speak English?
transportation companies.
Mr. Secretary doesn't even speak English.
Yeah,
Listen,
so
listen.
see, this isn't a race issue,
Listen,
sir.
listen, listen,
This is
listen.
about fraud.
We have, what, 1,000 providers?
Yeah, you guys have a.
Even if it's 2,000 providers,
Okay,
you're
sir.
going to sacrifice the safety of
Sir,
80,000 people
we're not
because of fucking 2,000 providers? Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid. Where's the transportation company?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid.
It will be because of you. If any Somali gets searched in Minnesota, it's because of Nick Shirley.
This is-
Any Somali,
this is about
if
fraud.
one single Somali gets hurt.
This is about fraud,
it's because
sir.
of You sensationalize, you son of a bitch. Sensationalize.
Wow, you're very
Get the fuck out of our
nice.
neighborhood.
Very nice.
Get the fuck out of our
Sir,
neighborhood.
can you tell me where the
Get the
transportation
fuck out of our
company is?
neighborhood. We don't want you. Get the fuck out of here.
Calm down, sir.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sir, this is
You
about
want
fraud.
You want clicks?
You're
You got
sensationalizing
clicks?
yourself,
You
sir.
wanted clicks?
You're sensationalizing
You got
yourself.
clicks? You wanted clicks? You wanted YouTube?
Tell me where the transportation
You wanted
vehicle
YouTube
is.
clicks? You got YouTube clicks. Now get the fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the
Get
transportation
fuck out of our
vehicle
community.
is. Tell me where the.
You
This is
stupid
about
racist
fraud.
motherfucker.
This is.
Say I don't want
This is
Muslims
about
here.
fraud.
Say I don't want Muslims here. Say it. Say I
I'm
want
not-
to change the constitution.
No, I don't
and
want to change the
freedom of
Constitution.
religion, and I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota. Pick them out. I was born in this country. You have to take the passport away from me. That is what you are
Sir,
arguing for.
we're not talking.
Change the
This is
constitution.
about fraud.
Get the fuck out of our community.
This is about fraud.
Get the fuck out of our community. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid fucking idiot.
Tell me where the transportation company is then.
Get the fuck out of here.
Obviously, for this video, we had to get security because look at this now. All right, we're going. We're going.
Bro, oh, what did I do? These people just go into communities, harass people, and then act like they're the victim. It's fucking pathetic, dude.
Well, then show me where the transportation company is.
They don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Fucking idiot.
But there is no transportation company there. Fraud. There
Fraud.
are no transportation companies.
Fraud.
No, none.
This isn't about race. This isn't against religion. This is about fraud. We're fighting fraud here. We're not fighting a race.
Well, and this is what happens when you put a spotlight on fraud. The people who are benefiting become extremely violent, and the Somalis are the most violent people I have ever met in my whole life.
They don't hate Somalians, but they are the most violent people in the world.
Where was the transportation
He
company?
wouldn't answer the question. All he did was make it about race and then issue threats.
Neither business was there or operating, and giving a very conservative estimate based off of David's numbers and other numbers online, it's fair to say each business is operating with an average of 20 vehicles and with a much lower and generous rate of $25 per trip. And with 10 alleged trips a day, each business is pulling an estimate of $1.3 million in gross revenue. And with those 2 locations alone, there's over $2.6 million in estimated fraud. All right, we're going to the next location.
What's interesting, Nick, is that one of the places we just visited, the 617 Cedar Avenue South, that's for Dreamline Transportation. That's the address listed with the state of Minnesota. But the place that we're going right now is going to have vans that say Dreamline Transportation on them, but they haven't moved in months and months. You'll see they're covered with snow. There will be no tire tracks. And so
what the fuck? You already knew they changed locations? So what the fuck are you doing? This guy already knows where Dreamline Transportation is. So that was fraud. That was a fraud. That whole thing was a fraud.
why are they using this address? And all that was in there.
Why the fuck are you going there if you already know that's not where they're headquartered?
Store. And he
what the hell?
Next door, and those were all just mailboxes, and then the guy next door said, go talk to him. They said, we just talked to him. Obviously, the cover-up, and you see how they all stick together, and it's all this intimidation, and thank God we had the security we did there, because that would have been bad.
Now we're outside of this transportation vehicle company right here.
Yeah, so you can see these are the vans that say Dreamline. You can see the sticker on the window, and the numbers on the rear. None of these vehicles have moved in 8 months. I've been taking date stamp photos. All these vehicles are in the exact same spot they were 8 months ago, and look, there's no tire tracks, so they haven't moved.
And this van as well, this is Dreamline. Dreamline was the location where we got chased out from the Somalis on 617 Cedar, and this is a vehicle from Dreamline that actually didn't even exist. It was a liquor store, and now it's here, and the vans haven't moved at all. Literally, no vans and no tire tracks anywhere. If these vans are being used to transport people, whether it be healthcare, childcare, there would be snow tracks. And there's 1, 2, 3.
I'm sorry. What's that right there under your arm? That looks like tire tracks.
Anywhere. If these vans are being used to transport people,
except right there.
And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm seeing some tire tracks. Also, when's the last time it snowed? I mean, what the fuck? All this evidence is terrible, dude.
11 vehicles here. No snow tracks anywhere. These vehicles are not being used, and these transportation companies are making lots of...
The last time it snowed, was that 8 months ago? 8 months ago? What was 8 months ago? Like summertime? Or something?
Meanwhile, there's actually nothing to show for it. Here's all of the vehicles right here. The are coming in and out. Like this Toyota, it does not have anything to do with transportation company because there's no stickers on it and there's snow tracks. But the vehicles that are supposed to be used for transportation are literally locked in. Snow is building icicles. No one's even came out to remove the snow off the window. These transportation vehicles are not moving. And then right here, David has more paperwork for Silver Mountain. And there's 3 different companies. In the same address. Yeah. So when we talk about how all these companies are intertwined, this is a perfect example of that.
And this is why these transportation companies are so essential to the fraud in Minnesota, because they allow the fraud to be supported. As a majority of the fraud is from welfare programs like daycares, autism centers, and adult daycares, and healthcare services, they need to leave a paper trail to make it look like something is happening. Therefore, they use these transportation companies to create that paper trail by saying they're moving people from an adult daycare to a healthcare provider, for example, but they actually never provide the service at the healthcare provider. But that paper trail allows them to continue to bill the state for the money, and everyone gets paid. That's why this fraud is so deep and hard to dismantle, because quite literally everyone is involved.
And it's all because the state of Minnesota never checks.
All right, so this is actually the location for Silver Mountain, Inc., LLC, and Co. Let's see if any... Yes, we're wondering where Silver Mountain.
Silver Mountain?
Silver Mountain.
Oh, I don't know that. Where it is.
It says 2722 Park Avenue.
Where is
Silver Mountain here?
Silver Mountain. You don't have a permission to do that.
Okay, so Silver Mountain does not exist.
You were
No, the name of Silver Mountain. It's just Silver Mountain.
Don't ask me that. When you come...
All right,
So
sir.
Silver-
So Silver Mountain does not exist.
You're making a business. You have millions of people watching you. You're making business to
Okay, sir.
people.
You have millions of people watching right
Yes.
now. Where is Silver Mountain?
I don't know
Home
where
Healthcare?
Silver Mountain is.
Okay, well, that's what we're looking for. All right, we're moving on. So Silver Mountain does not exist. David, we're just simply asking for where is Silver Mountain Home
I can't find
Healthcare?
any of these companies. I mean, this is shocking. 3 companies are supposed to be in that building, and he's never heard of them. He doesn't know anything about them.
And look, so they don't exist there. Right there, Somali Senior Center.
What if they do? What if they do own these businesses and they just don't want to be part of your little documentary? I mean, it seems like fuck off is the appropriate response to something like this, to be honest. I mean, this is incredibly annoying, what he's doing.
In adult day services, a daycare right there, all these welfare companies are in the same location, but their businesses That business didn't even exist.
It's all fraud, all of it.
So right there is a transportation company, no passenger, just a driver. How can you think when it comes
Waste of money. That's a scatterbox. Waste of money. I agree. This kid should not be making any money.
accountability for what's happening, or just to answer simple questions about the fraud they can't answer?
Well, I think their reaction tells you all you need to know. That the reaction is so violent that if there was...
That's all you need to know. If you go into someone's business with a camera and start demanding things and calling them frauds, and they're pissed off, that tells you everything you need to know right there. Case closed.
Fraud going on, they would say, what are you talking about? They would have a civil conversation, but they can't because they know we're shining the light on the fraud. And they have no...
You're walking in with a camera, and I guess this is like not the first video in the series, because it seems like all these people obviously already know who he is. So it's like poking someone with a stick and like demanding civility. It's very fucking disingenuous.
So in their mind, being loud and using profanity is their only defense.
Because I'm trying to get an opportunity to say, where are the transportation companies? Where are the daycare? Where are the children? Where are the companies now? Yet they can't answer.
And to this point, Nick, the transportation companies we've been to, we haven't seen a single vehicle at any of them. In fact, some don't even exist. We can't even find them.
You just fucking saw a bunch of vehicles. You just showed them.
And we're going to the addresses that are listed on the Secretary of State's website as their business address.
This is a massive parking lot here. We're going to ask them where their vehicles are. They should not have any excuse as to why they don't have their vehicles here, other than if they're out driving right now. And what's the story behind this business?
Well, this business is new as of March of 2024. It's Mohammed Malim is the registered agent for 713 Minnehaha Avenue East.
Me and David headed into this building, however, the owner was not there. We're here at the suite of Epimonnia Transport LLC. There's actually not even a sign here. And anyone here, it looks like there's a guy over here. Let's see if we can talk to him really quick. Do you know about Epimonnia Transport here?
So there was a transportation company here in 305 for a long time, even before I joined the building a few years ago. He's never really here. I've seen the office a couple times. There's barely anything in there but a couch. And I see him maybe twice a month at IF. So.
And there's no transport vehicles outside. Massive parking lot.
I've never seen one. I've been here for 3 years and I'm always here. I'm a workaholic. I'm just nonstop here. So I know everybody in the building. And this specific space here is probably the most sketchy out of any other business here. Everyone else is here. They're friendlier. He just pops in and out.
For instance, this guy Muhammad, he should have his business in 308. There should be transportation vehicles outside. There's nothing.
That's weird that you say 308 because he's always been in 305 for the last 3 years.
Wow, so he's even lying on his public records with the government.
I would assume if he was to make and doing fraud, it makes sense to switch it up and throw people off track. It would be the first thing somebody would do, I would think.
So since the fraud has started to
Yeah. Say you're in the office across the hall. Then you'll get away with it.
exposed, Muhammad has left the scene, and the guy just said, he confirmed that there was never even been transportation vehicles outside. So Muhammad has completely left the scene. He's nowhere to be found, and this parking lot, massive parking lot, actually never even had any transport vehicles according to the guy who lived or had his office next to Muhammad. How quick do you think the fraud would dry out here in Minnesota if they would cut out the transportation side of the fraud?
I think it would have a massive effect, and that the signal that would send would let people know the party's over.
Because if me and you were to go to the doctor, we either have to find a family member, drive ourselves, or pay for an Uber. How can they even have this set up?
Yeah, I tried to arrange a ride with one of these Somali transportation companies. They said they're all full. So now we're at 2833 13th Avenue South in Minneapolis, and there's supposed to be a non-emergency medical transportation company here called Advanced Mobility Incorporated. And what's interesting about this company is that...
Dude, okay, if people who actually need this service are calling and being turned away, that is fucked up. That is fucked up. And I gotta say, at this point, I'm not at all like... I think there's definitely probably some fraud going on here. It's just... the way that this guy is doing this, it's so performative and theatrical that it's like... it makes me more mad at him than the fraudsters. Because, again, fraud is just baked into American capitalism. Like, and you know, shaving off the top or saying you're doing stuff that you're not doing. Like, that's exactly what Elon Musk does. That's exactly what he does. He gets money for things that he does not do, for things that he doesn't create. And that is 100% taxpayer money. This is like... I'm trying to think of what to compare it to, but if you don't know that fraud is just a part of American life, then I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, I pride myself on not being a fraudster. I don't want to ever make money in dishonest ways. I don't want to gain success off someone else's downfall. I don't want to, I don't want to make money off of exploitation, but I'm extremely rare. That is not how most people are. So again, you just have to wonder if they really have this big of an issue with fraud, or if it's racially motivated. Because again, the ringleader for the daycare scam or whatever, a fucking American white lady. So they're just trying to make it like Somalians are inherently fraudsters and inherently violent.
State records show that it first registered with the state of Minnesota in 1999.
And they have been in business for over 26 years.
Yes, correct.
So we're going to go inside.
They must have a lot of vehicles.
So this is Advanced Mobility 2833, boarded up. All these windows are covered right here. We're going to see if we can go inside. There's a bunch of shops in here. We have money transferring shop. We got clothes in here. There's a coffee shop. Let's see if Advanced Mobility is in here. We got spices. Is Advanced Mobility here?
You know 224?
I don't think you guys are allowed to record.
You know where Advanced Mobility is?
Suite 224.
She's recording over there, so. Suite 224. Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it? What is this? Oh, my name's Nick Shirley. We're just looking for Advanced Mobility. Where's Advanced Mobility at?
We don't care about Advanced Mobility.
That's what we're asking for. All right, we're looking for Advanced Mobility. Nobody can help us right now. We got a whole group of people trying to get us out of here. We're looking for Advanced Mobility. Advanced Mobility doesn't exist. Now they're pushing us out of here. Where's Advanced Mobility at? That's what we're asking for. Would you like to give a statement on where Advanced Mobility is? So Advanced Mobility is not anywhere here. We're leaving, sir. Would you like to give a statement on what's happening here in Minnesota?
You make stuff up. This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No, who do you work for?
Nick Shirley.
Who do you work for?
Nick Shirley,
I don't
sir.
care about Nick Shirley. That's you.
Yes, sir.
Who do you work for?
Nick Shirley.
I don't care about Nick Shirley.
That's who he's working for today, Nick Shirley.
This is from the state of Minnesota.
Oh, that guy's working for Nick Shirley. Okay. Dave.
And so you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here. Advanced Mobility doesn't exist.
Well, so what was interesting was we walked in there, and on the state's website, it says it's in Suite 224, but it's a one-story building. None of the suites had the number 2 on them. It doesn't exist. And it's been registered since 1999, and it doesn't exist.
All right, next location. David, where are we at?
We're at what's called Ray's, R-A-Y-Z Transportation, LLC.
And this is Ray's Transportation. We're on a street. There's no parking lot for any transportation vehicles. We'll see what happens. This is the address for Ray's Transportation. See if anybody is here. Is Ray's Transportation here, sir?
I don't know. Transportation places. There's no transportation places here.
Oh, okay, well.
It's just Ray's, R-A-Y-Z.
Well, I think it's confirmed they're not here, David. So it's confirmed that's Ray Transportation. All of these transportation companies, they're kind of like ghost companies. They exist on paper, but they don't actually exist in person. Would you like to see anybody in the government here held accountable?
Most definitely, because there can definitely be an allocation of funds.
And what's your message to Tim Walz?
Make a change, because there's definitely, even when it comes down like the kids and stuff, there's definitely stuff that like we need spaces for the things that are going on that they're not doing. We need these type of spaces for it. Now this is crazy stuff, but I'm glad that you bring light to it. It is a crazy, interesting situation.
We need these spaces. Okay.
Hey, the false narrative that you be going on is some nonsense.
You should get in your car.
You should not be doing that, right? You are creating misinformation. This is not fair. It's not fair for the American people to be doing that. It's not fair. It's not fair what you mean. You cannot be doing that. You're not being fair.
How?
This country is built on fairness. You're not being fair. You cannot come into the community and be doing that.
So we shouldn't allow fraud to be happening, right?
Let the legal system do its job.
Well, it's
we
failed.
got a governor. We got an attorney general. Let them do the job. You're not in a position to do the job. You're not a prosecutor. If you want to run for office, go ahead, run for office. But you cannot be doing this. This is misinformation. This is information.
How is it misinformation, sir? It's from the
This is what you're doing.
state
You're
of
coming
Minnesota.
You're coming everywhere. Where are you coming from?
You see what I mean? We're talking about the facts that's happening here.
Get the south side. It's my turn. Get it.
Sir, so we were just having a civil conversation. The guy hopped out of his car in the middle of the road. About the fraud that's happening. And he's saying that I'm the bad.
Yeah, dude, they're pissed off because you're literally saying that Somalians are fraudsters. And so Somalian people are offended. The fuck is so hard to understand about that?
for showing light of what's happening here.
They're passionate. They're passionate people. They don't want this type of stuff either going on or be brought to light. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to. It's a very tight knit community.
You saw firsthand how crazy it gets out here. He hopped out in the middle of the intersection. So this isn't about race. You're a black guy. They're black, right? We have no ill feelings towards you by any means. We're talking about the fraud that's happening. So God bless you, sir, and thank you very much. Why are we doing this?
So we're doing this, A, because it's the right thing to do. The people of Minnesota and the people of America want this done. Fraud is fraud. And when we try and talk with these people and say, look,
fraud is fraud, except when Donald Trump does it, or Elon Musk does it, or the Secretary of War does it, or anyone that, you know, we politically like does it, then it's not fraud and we don't give a fuck about it. That's the problem here. If you're watching this and you're wondering why I think this sucks, why, like, dude, there could totally be fraud going on. But we have some guy named Dave, no credentials, no nothing, and a fucking kid from out of town, and they're just going to these addresses and harassing these people. Like, they know that that's not going to, like, you're not going to walk in and go, hey, like, you're a fraud, and they're going to go, and if they say they are frauds, they're just going to go, yeah, I'm a fraud. You know, no one asked me that before. So that's why this is fucking stupid.
the main reason we're doing this is to find out why are all these checks being written by the state of Minnesota for companies that don't even exist. That's what we're trying to figure out. It's not a race issue, it's a fraud issue, and fraud is fraud.
And so what most people don't understand about this fraud is it is literally in the entire state of Minnesota. It's not just in one part of Minneapolis.
Right, and so I think what happens is the people in the suburbs of Minneapolis and St. Paul, they get lulled into a false sense of security because they say, oh, that's in Minneapolis, it doesn't affect us, or that's in St. Paul. And we're showing that this fraud spreads throughout the entire state of Minnesota, including all of the suburbs, and we're going to bring to light exactly what's going on in those respective suburbs.
And so what's happening in this suburb of St. Louis Park?
Well, this is one of the Somali NEMT, non-emergency medical transportation companies.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat here. Gamer James says, you know what sucks climate change? It was so cold my hand turned red today. Need better mitts. It's nice and warm where I'm at from Manitoba. Manitoba? Is that Canada? Arizona, you lucky bastard. Arizona is so beautiful. I feel like a lot of political action is just performative. Is this political action? That's the thing. This is, isn't it? It's political, isn't it? Yes, it is. Good job. Fraud happens, but it should be prosecuted fairly. Don't worry about it. This kid's gonna fix it all. Freedom of the press is very important. And in fact, I'm definitely not saying that this kid should be put in jail or anything like that. You know, he's within his rights to do what he's doing. I'm just saying that what he's doing is gross. That's all I'm saying. Dude, I'm not a fucking expert on transportation fraud in Minneapolis, you know what I mean? But this guy who is this is our specialist, right? I mean, he's kind of just coming off as like a old guy with an obsession. And again, if this were genuine, then it wouldn't be political, but this is political. They're in a Democrat state. They're going after immigrants. Like, obviously this is all to serve the right-wing political narrative. This isn't actually about fraud. Because if you just had an issue with fraud, if you were just like, I'm a person who hates fraud, you would probably have an issue with billions of dollars unaccounted for the national security budget. You would probably have an issue with the president of the United States doing rug pull meme coins and selling and laundering money with fucking vaporware watches and all this bullshit, all this fraud. That's the problem. This is like, I'm gonna think of a good analogy. Maybe someone in the chat can think of a good analogy. It's like going into a raging fire and I don't know. Fuck me.
It's registered with the state of Minnesota in St. Louis Park, and so let's see if this one actually exists.
This is the location of Crescent Transportation. We have no vans outside right now. Does not look like any vans are outside. Let's go inside, see if Crescent Transportation exists. Here we are, and it's an apartment complex. There's no signage of any Crescent Transportation company. Once again, another fraudulent business where they don't even have a storefront to show where that. This is an apartment complex. So this is an apartment complex right here?
Yeah.
And have you ever seen Crescent Transportation out here?
Nope.
And what do you think about the fraud taking place here in Minnesota?
Huh? I'm a taxpayer. I don't like it.
What's your message to all the fraudsters?
Huh? Prosecute their ass. Take them to jail.
And how do you feel knowing that, for instance, right here, a transportation company that receives money from the government is not even here? It's an apartment complex.
Like I said, I don't like it. I'm a taxpayer. I work hard for my money. People out here fraud, they still go to jail.
And should Tim Watts go to jail?
Oh, he cricket too, huh? All of them cricket. All the politicians. My daddy ain't never liked none of them.
So that man right there just confirmed that this is an apartment complex.
Right, and so the cities have specific rules governing operating businesses out of apartments. They do not allow transportation companies to park vehicles in an apartment parking lot. None of the cities in the Twin Cities allow that.
Because even if you were to...
So, is that why there's no vehicles there then? Because maybe they're following the rules? Again, you're going to a place where you know there won't be any vehicles. And then you fucking tell us the reason. What the fuck?
Apartment. There's nowhere to park the cars.
Well, where are they? There aren't any. Crescent. I don't see anything with Crescent on it anywhere.
You just said they're not allowed to do that. You just said they can't park the cars at the fucking apartment complex. Why are you looking around?
Fraud taking place here.
So this is called Hopkins Child Care Center. This facility is licensed to hold 118 children, so this should be a really big facility. And this year alone, they have received $2.25 million from the state of Minnesota. And last year, they received $1.92 million from the state of Minnesota. And this facility, in the past 5 years, has been in the top 10 for the most money received from the state of Minnesota.
So there should be plenty of children. There should be footprints of children walking in.
This should be a very busy place, yes.
So this right here is Hopkins Child Care Center. They're receiving over $2 million a year. All of the windows are completely blacked out. You can't even get in. And for a place that's supposed to have over 100 children, there's no footprints anywhere going into the store. And it's locked. Midday right now. This is the backside of the daycare. We're ringing the doorbell right now. See if anybody comes. Hello, sir. How you doing? How are you doing? Yes, sir.
Get out. Okay, listen. Get out. This is our business.
Yes, sir.
We don't care what you do on the parking lot. Go this side. This private.
I can be here in the parking lot.
No.
Wait, can we ask you about the daycare? It's all right. It's all right. Can we ask you about the daycare?
No. I don't care.
Sir, I'm not racist. I'm asking.
No.
Show us the kids.
$1 million.
Get out, you guys. Get out.
$1.5 million.
Get out. Hey, get out. What are you looking for?
We're asking. Get out. Get out. Ask you. Talk about $1.5 million.
Get out. You say get out. Get out, guys. Get out. You cannot do that. Get out. No, you cannot do that.
Where? This is.
Get out. No. Get out. Get out. No.
Sir.
You have to get out. This is our responsibility. Get out.
Why? Can I ask you about the daycare? I have the paperwork right here.
Get out.
What's the need for $2.25 million for a daycare?
Get out.
Can you answer the question?
No, I don't ask you any question.
You can't answer the question.
No. Who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
No, I don't give a shit. Get out.
Could you answer the question?
No, I don't.
What's the need for $2.25 million for a daycare?
No. $1 million. I don't know about it. Get out.
Okay.
Get out.
And it's licensed for 118 children, but I don't see any footprints of any children here. I don't see any footprints of any children here.
Get out. Get out.
I don't see any footprints of any children here.
Don't ask me nothing, man.
I'm just asking you about what we're seeing here.
No, get out. Get out of this. Get out.
Sir,
This is my property.
You have millions of people watching right now. When you say, what's the need for $2.25 million, and where are the 118 children?
Dude, this is garbage. We all know that national security funding fraud goes to Area 51 and all that UFO reverse engineering BS. I don't see any alien footprints.
Sir, I'm just asking a simple
Get out. No, you don't ask me any question. Get out.
You have the opportunity
No.
to answer the
You can't ask me nothing. Get out. Get out of this. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Sir,
Get out.
just answer the question.
No.
Just answer the
Get out.
question.
No. Get out. Leave.
Sir, just answer the question.
Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
You too, man. Get out.
All right, code word has been given. We're out. All right, we gotta get out of here. Sir, just answer the question. Where are the children? No footprints of any children around here. No footprints of any children. They can't even answer the question. We gave them so many opportunities. We gave them plenty of opportunities. Just answer some simple questions. Millions of people.
They came out with guns blazing. All we want to know is where are the children? 118 children. No footprints in the snow. All of their vehicles were sitting there with 2 feet of snow on them. They haven't moved in months.
The windows are all blacked out.
Yeah.
It's the same thing at all these daycares. 4 men came out. Yet they couldn't answer the simple question. We had it right here. 118 children. $2.25 million this year.
So let me just say, man, I don't know anything about this. Is my introduction to this whole. I mean, obviously, no, why would I know about something so specific? But I'm gonna say this definitely looks very suspicious, for sure. This looks very, very suspicious. Dude, there's so many people that get money from the government and don't do what they say or whatever. Like, remember those PPP loans? Shit like that. I don't know, man. I'm not, like I said, I don't like that. I don't ever want to make money in dishonest ways, but I'm also broke. You know what I mean? It's also pretty difficult to make money without, you know, at least participating in some kind of fraud. And this looks bad. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this looks pretty bad. But it also makes me wonder, like, is this possible because there's just not that many people that need non-emergency medical transport, or because there's just not that many people that need daycare? Because that's the part that I'm, like, confused about, because most, like, cities would need those services. So where are the daycares then? You know, I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. Like, I'm not at all pleased with the behavior of this kid and this weird guy. And I'm not stoked, you know, I don't people being pissed off, it's not going to show them in the best light. So obviously all of these business owners, or just people that are at these addresses, they're not representing themselves super well either. So it's kind of just like, I hate everyone in this video. Like, everyone in this video seems like they just suck ass. I'm sorry that's not super insightful, but you know, it seems like there could be some fraud going on here, for sure. Based on this, which is my only, you know, this is the only exposure I've had to this issue at all. So, but yeah, just watching this right now, I gotta say, this definitely looks pretty suspicious.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Now, this daycare center, how much money has this one received?
So this this child care center is called Proud Child Care Center, and it's in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, which is a very high income area. It's a further out suburb from Minneapolis, but there are a lot of multi-billion-dollar homes right in this neighborhood. And this child care got $1.25 million in funding in fiscal year 2025. It got $1.08 million last year. It opened in 2021. Let's go see if we can find any kids.
There should be at least 40 children here. Looking at the snow prints, does not look like there's any snow prints of any young children.
Dude, I know some of you guys are thinking the same thing I'm thinking right now, which is like, damn, is it really this easy to get money from the government? Like, holy shit. 1.25 million a year? Fuck, bro.
Windows are completely blacked out. Let's see if we could just talk to somebody. Could I enroll my son Joey into daycare here? Well, do you have the paperwork where I can enroll a child? Oh, my name's Nick Shirley. I was wondering if I could enroll a child. I have a son named Joey. My name's Nick Shirley. Yeah, I'm just coming out and seeing if I can enroll my child Joey. We just want to get a statement as to why.
Dude. I don't know. I think it's probably pretty clear that you're not trying to enroll a child. It's kind of stupid to say.
This daycare needs $1.26 million, and if it's even possible to enroll somebody like my child, my imaginary child, Joey. No, you guys can't give a clear statement, or could you even give me a paper to enroll a child into the daycare? Just to show that you guys are a legit business. It would debunk all claims if you could just give me a piece of paper saying where to enroll a child. You can't do that. Okay, well, thank you very much, and I hope this place actually is holding 47 children because you're receiving $1.26 million in this year alone, so have a great rest of your day. They won't even give us a paper to enroll a child. Could have debunked all their claims. They can't even do it.
One of the big talks about the fraud is about Quality Leering Center. It's a daycare that has received $1.9 million. It's licensed for over 99 children. Instead of quality learning, it says quality leering outside. But the big controversy about the Quality Leering Center is that Somalians, after the video went live, they all of a sudden start shuffling children into the daycare, but at the same time,
The commissioner of children of Minnesota was on a live stream saying they had closed the daycare a week ago.
Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago.
How much money has this place all received? And what's...
So this is the one that's licensed for 99 children. This fiscal year, they've received 1.9 million, and in fiscal year 2024, they had received about 2.2 million, so about 4 million in the last 2 fiscal years.
We're repping the Quality Learning Center 1-800-FRAUD, as now they have been confirmed that this place was closed down, and now they're shuffling children into the daycare.
So Tiki Ground said this facility was closed.
She said a week ago.
And now magically it's full of cars. So how can it be closed if people are coming and going?
Fraud. Why do you have everybody?
Yeah, okay, this is the owner right here.
It's not your property.
So how come they said this building was closed? We're trying to speak to the owner. They won't even answer a simple question. Look, now he's going inside.
Sir, don't run though. It looks suspicious when you run, brother. And you can smile, but bro.
Sir, I'm right here.
He's right here to speak to you.
I'm right here.
Don't do that.
You can't defend the fraud.
Oh, come on, at the daycare, do it. Hey, not at the daycare, doing the middle finger, though.
We have like 100 cameras on. Now, both of these people have interesting ties with politicians inside Minnesota. For instance, the man who's running the daycare, he was celebrating with Mayor Fry after he won re-election of mayor inside of Minneapolis. And then this lady right here seems to be a friend of Ilhan Omar, as she has photos with her outside of the restaurant, and she also has videos of her giving a tour to a separate daycare to Mayor Fry. It really makes you wonder why these politicians haven't fought against the fraud, knowing that it's happening in locations like Quality Learning Center. Meanwhile, they're taking photos and celebrating with them at events. What's your message to people on fraud here in Minnesota?
This is part of the cover-up. They're trying to cover their tracks. So let me say this on camera. If you can prove that any of the information that I have here is false, I'll give you $100,000 cash. If any of it's false or inaccurate in any way, anybody want to take me up? And if you can't prove it, you have to give me $100.
So you saying all that's real?
100%. I'll give you $100,000 if you can disprove my information.
See, they all went silent. Silent.
Anybody? Your $100 versus my $100,000 cash.
They're all silent. What do you think about the fraud here?
Hey, the fraud here in Minnesota, I go by, is crazy. Like, what do you mean specifically? What do you mean?
Yeah, how do you feel about this daycare, for instance, $1.9 million, and they couldn't even spell learning right? They spelled learning.
Hey, man, Somalis, they're an interesting creature. I'm not gonna lie, I can't say too much. I'm already too hot. But I mean, Tim Walz, you gotta solve this stuff. Minnesota really cracked down on this because they've been doing this for years. So
should Tim Walz be prosecuted?
Hell yeah.
And at this point, you're probably wondering where all the millions and billions of dollars has gone. Well, it's been well tracked that a lot of the money, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, has been funneled through TSA at the airport inside of Minnesota. It's been well tracked and documented. Even in 2017, there was reports coming from the local Fox News station, and I was actually able to meet up with a whistleblower who used to work as an agent at TSA on the side of narcotics, and he saw millions of dollars go through TSA.
And what kind of fraud did you see take place here in Minnesota?
So I worked for the airport police for 31 years. 24 of those years I worked in narcotics at MSP Airport. And my recollection was from about 2015-16 to 2021 when I retired.
Oh, let's see. Scatterbox seems like a fraud for sure, but there's surely a motivation to expose an immigrant-related fraud scheme because of how juicy the story will be, especially among the right. That's exactly right, dude. That's exactly right. That's exactly fucking correct. At this point, I mean, I'm pretty convinced, to be honest. This definitely seems like there's fraud going on.
I would get emails from our dispatch.
And I don't like it. I don't like fraud. I don't like people lying to get money. But when you have the most corrupt and fraudulent president ever, and you have nothing to say about that except that he's, innocent, and yet you're extremely passionate about exposing this particular fraud in this particular city, for me, that motivation kind of, it pollutes it to where I'm like, okay, like, you don't actually care about this fraud. Especially the way that he's going to these businesses and like, I just want to enroll my imaginary child. Why aren't you bending over backwards to prove to me that you're legit? Well, why the fuck would they? Who the fuck are you? Does anyone react well to just a random stranger showing up with a camera and like, well, again, this is kind of similar to what ICE is doing, right? They're just going up to people and demanding that they show their papers and prove that they're allowed to be here. And like, that's not how, like, I guess we're a little spoiled in the United States where we usually just get to go about our business, right? So, like the convenience store, for example, if those guys were in on the fraud or if they were just convenience store owners, the result would have looked exactly the same, I feel like. So it's just kind of like, you know, you're just harassing people.
Saying like 2 male Somali descent individuals, they would give us their names. They claimed the cash, that they had a large amount of cash at the checkpoints. We'd get all this information in an email, and it would, I believe they would send it right away. So TSA would contact our dispatch telling us this, then our dispatch would relay the info via email to us.
And how much was the money?
The money, the smallest amount in a suitcase that I heard was like $750,000. But generally, it was anywhere from $1 million to $6 million in a suitcase.
Jesus Christ.
As far as I can remember, there was always 2 individuals traveling. So you would have maybe one guy with $2.2 million and another guy with $3 million. And
at airports, you're able to take $10,000 without declaring it. How are these guys?
Damn, I didn't even know you could do that. You can just take millions of dollars in cash places on the airplanes?
Take millions of dollars.
Because as far as I know, as long as they declared it, they were fine. So then
Damn.
TSA would contact HSI and Customs, and I'm sure they got the information. We got the information. My administration knew about it, and I trust that they sent that on to higher state officials on this, but nothing was ever done the whole time I was there. I talked to one individual. We were going after narcotic cash leaving the airport. This was always fraud. We had no nexus to that this cash was related to narcotics, so our hands were kind of tied. We couldn't do a whole lot.
How do you suspect these Somalians had millions of dollars to move in an airport?
We would rack our heads all the time, like, where are they getting this? Where in the world are they getting this money? And I had heard about these daycares and whatnot, but I mean, I thought at the time maybe they had 10 daycares, but apparently they have a lot more than that. We were all just racking our heads trying to figure this out.
So you opened millions of dollars get moved through that.
I saw one time, I saw an open suitcase with the cash because we were looking into seeing if it was narcotics related, which it was not.
How much money do you think moved through the airport in your time?
Millions, literally millions and millions. I mean, we're talking for a good 5-6 years.
Can you stop attacking me?
I don't know, 5 to 6 million a week. It would happen twice a week. You would get twice a week where there would be somebody flying, 2 people flying out with $1 to 2 to 3 to 4 or $5 million twice a week, every week, without fail.
And where were those people traveling to?
So this is the word I got, that they would fly to Atlanta, take a flight from Atlanta to Dubai, and then apparently what I had heard was it was too dangerous to go any further with it, so they'd wire the money to Somalia. Whether they scraped a bunch off the top and did that, I don't know.
Wow, so they take the money from Minnesota, take it to Atlanta, and then take it to Dubai, and then from Dubai they then wire the money.
Correct. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I was told by other investigators.
So all the taxpayers' dollars were getting funneled through the airports and then taken to Dubai to be sent to Somalia.
Yes. It appears that's how it all went down, yes.
It's time to hold all fraudsters and corrupt politicians accountable. Bullshit, dude. You just mean fraudsters you don't like and politicians that aren't right wing. That's literally this is the issue. Is that this is what he's claiming is his motivation, and it's not. It's not. All right. Well, that was interesting. Yeah. I don't know what to say except, you know, I'm not really in a position to do anything about this. But you know, you can't be taking millions of dollars from the government saying that you're providing a service that you don't provide. And I'm just wondering who legitimately does provide these services in Minneapolis, and you know, how do they get funded? I'd be interested in knowing that, because if they're like at a disadvantage trying to run legitimate businesses that offer actual services, then that's even more infuriating. To be honest, the government has fucking unlimited money. There's this whole idea that like the government budget is the same as like your piggy bank at home is so fucking stupid. And I'm so tired of people being like, America's in debt. Like, what the fuck? That does not affect you. It's not the same. It's not like that. So I'm not so much like pissed off because the chances of I don't know, just millions and millions of dollars, billions of dollars of taxpayer money goes to shit that is not only like something like this. It's bad, but it's like the worst thing is that they're just not doing the service that they say they're doing, right? But that's kind of a little bit better than money going to something that's like actively doing something bad, or like funding the oligarch class that is actually, because like these Somalian people, I don't think they're that politically motivated. I don't think they're trying to like change laws or anything like that. They're probably, if these people are guilty of what is being alleged, I mean, I think it's just purely just a get money scheme. So, I mean, it pisses me off, but like I said, like this kid and the way that he's conducting this documentary, it kind of pisses me off a little bit more, I think, almost. To be honest, I think it pisses me off a little bit more. I'm not surprised how... Come back. I'm not surprised how easy it was to pull off a stunt like this. There were millions, if not billions of dollars going to SBA COVID fraud schemes. Exactly, dude. Exactly. That's when I guess that was my first introduction into just kind of like how easy apparently it is to just get government funds, you know? I'm assuming it's easy because it's really difficult to stay on top of all that stuff. You have to staff a lot of people. See, and this is the other thing, is the same folks that are going after this fraud, right? They're the same folks that think that all bureaucracy is evil and like they want to fire all government employees. But that's the thing, is like, to make sure that all of this stuff is above board, you have to have regulators out the ass. You know what I mean? And this right-wing movement in America right now is very anti-regulation. So it's kind of just like, I don't know. Not really sure what you guys think the solution to something like this is, but to me it seems pretty clear that you need more regulation. You're going to need more staff. You're going to need more people going through paperwork and, you know, verifying claims and stuff. And, you know, they're kind of against that, right? They're kind of saying bureaucracy is a fraud. These people, that's the other thing too, is like, so I went into this, I didn't fucking know what this was going to be about. I actually think there's some fraud going on here. But I wouldn't have been shocked if there wasn't either, because it's politically motivated. And, you know, this guy, Nick Shirley, I don't know him. I don't know his views. But it seems like he's like a right-wing guy, right? So he probably agrees with Trump's narratives that, you know, poor people on food stamps are ruining America, immigrants are ruining America. And the thing is that that's just not true. And like, even something like this, like, you have to understand scale. And like, you know, even if 1% or even if 10% of people on food stamps like aren't hungry, that doesn't mean that you should get rid of fucking food stamps. Like, that's gonna fuck people up. That's gonna hurt people. And so at the end of the day, I don't really trust that this person really cares about people. And I don't trust that he's not targeting this specific fraud because of the immigrant factor. I'm very suspicious of that being the case. So I don't respect that. But man, this is my longest stream yet. I think I'm gonna get off. Okay, guys. Peace. See you tomorrow, same time.